Now, how did you get into this deal? You couldn't have been Peter Winnick your whole life.
Well, no, technically, since the day I was born,
Yeah, but
yes.
not the Peter
No,
Winnick.
not the Peter Winnick. That came later.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, the way I got to this was really two things that I thought were very different parts of me that I realized weren't. So one is I've always been entrepreneurial. I've always loved creating things and building things and figuring out how things work and how to make them better from a business standpoint. So that's the entrepreneur side. And then the other side of that is I was always just a content nerd, right? Always loved reading books, always loved taking in magazines, always loved like just sucking in information, but never really applied any of the business skills to that until about 15 plus years ago. I was brought in to do a turnaround at a global communications consulting company.
But why you? Why'd they pick you? Who picked you and
So
why?
a buddy of mine was the CEO. He knew I had the business chops and the business skills to do this sort of turnaround thing. He had to actually sell me on the deal because I'm like, dude, I have no interest in training. Is the most boring thing that happens. I don't know anything about it. I tried to unsell him because, no, I got a feeling you'd probably be really good at this because you're creative and entrepreneurial and it's a 40-year-old company that needs whatever. And we did a great turnaround. And I was able to learn at that point, like, holy crap, there's a whole business underneath this whole training business, this whole people development business. And it's changing really, really quickly. The technology's coming into play. The old things aren't working so much, et cetera. So I learned that. And then from there transitioned into individual thought leadership in terms of working with world-renowned authors, thought leaders, speakers, et cetera, and helping them. Because what I saw is a combination of some macro factors, the publishing world falling apart and a bunch of other things, that if you're a true thought leader, if you've got some great stuff to put out in the world, now all of a sudden you got to be an expert on social media, you got to be an expert on learning, you got to figure out the speaking business, you got to figure out how to license, like there's all these other things that you need to figure out. And my vision was, and I validated this by working with a couple of folks, build a moat around those awesome thought leaders and let them just build great stuff and do what they're great at. What they're great at might be stage work, it might be research, whatever, and have others figure out the business side of the house. How do you market? How do you sell? How do you find the right distribution partners? How do you make the business global? How do you grow it? And then it's that 1-2 punch of sort of protecting the thought leader. You know, you don't have your quarterback cleaning up the locker room, right?
Yeah, but you help them with all that.
Yeah.